Hello guys, so welcome back. This is Csec and as I'll be going through this May/June 2020 past paper 1, alright? Nonetheless said so guys, I will just going through these papers here. Good. Alright, I'm just waiting just a few moments, alright? Good. Alright, just a moment. Let me just go ahead. Let me know if you guys are seeing my screen. So I'm gonna ensure you're seeing my screen, alright? Alright, good. So let me just zoom up this a little so you can see the screen more clear. Alright, good guys. Alright, good. So I want to say welcome back to everyone that are watching the channel. How was exams today on paper 2? Alright. Nonetheless said so guys, make sure you guys do drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't do so already. Ensure that you turn on the post notifications so when we get further notice, eventually you will get the updates. Alright, just a moment please, just a moment guys, just a moment please. Hello guys, so feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. How was the exam today? Alright, I will just going through this paper. I'm just waiting a few minutes. I'm just starting up the live. Alright, good. Let me zoom up this a little. I think this should be better. Alright, good. So here guys, we're gonna move along. All right, so number 1 here, it says, in which of the following family types or cultural tradition passed from a older member to children most likely? Easily. So here we are seeing where they are mentioning about family types which has cultural traditions that pass from an older member to children. So that would be an extended family. All right, so the answer would be an extended family. So they are passing from older generation, like for example from a grandparent to a younger sibling. Alright, good. Number 2, we are seeing this saying that Maxine Lewis lives with her unmarried mother and father. The types of union between her parents can best describe as, and it can best describe as common law. And the reason being, it says, because they are unmarried, mother and father are the types of union that's classified as common law. Alright, good. Number 3, let me just go down a little bit. Alright, good. So here it says, which of the following statement best describes a conjugal family? Alright, so here conjugal family are classified as family relationships that are developed through marriage. Alright, so those are types of family relationship that develop through marriage. So that is a conjugal family. Alright, good. Number 4, it says, which of the following family functions are parents performing when they insist that children show respect for properties of others? So here they are trying to find out how the function of the parents that they are performing when they insist that the children show respect for property of others. So that would be socialization. Alright, good. Moving along. Any questions? Any questions, students? Feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. Alright. Number 5. Here we are seeing where it says John, Simon and Harry are cousins who live in the same house. It says, which of the following terms best describes their relationship? So here it says John, Simon, and Harry. They are cousins, but they live in the same house. So here we would see they best classified or described as relatives. Alright, so it's not peers, they are not contemporaries, and they are not necessarily siblings. Alright, they are relatives. Siblings would mean like brother, sister. Alright, they are relatives. Good. Number 6. Here we are seeing in the Caribbean today, fathers have accepted more responsibility for children, wearing mainly because of, and it's weirdly mainly because of the increasing numbers of working mothers. And the whole reason here, we are seeing why father has to take up the responsibility more often. It's because of the father, I would say, mentioned. They had, I would say, less advantages. The whole reason being because there are very more increase in the numbers of mothers. So we find out the mothers are working more often. So in regards to that, we are seeing where father would have more responsibility for rearing children. Alright, good. Number 7 here we are seeing, it says research suggests that young people are influenced to the use of illegal drugs mainly because of, and we are seeing where illegal drugs are mainly used, and it's because the peer pressures. So here we are seeing where they had more likely to have difficulties and problems with the pressure they are coping under. Like for example, juveniles. Alright, they are under pressure. So this is the influence that use illegal drugs, and it's mainly because of peers pressure. Alright, so it's not dropping out of school why they use illegal substance. It's not even frustration most of the times, and it's not generation gap. It would be peer pressures. Alright, good. Number 8 here we are seeing the question here say, alright, so it says which of the following developments is most likely to result in conflict in the traditional family? So here conflicts are developed here, and it's mostly mainly because the change in role of men and women in the family. Alright, so this is trying to condict that the conflict in the family traditions would change the role of men and women in the family. So they are most likely to have some conflict. So due to the conflict, it changes the whole role of men and women. Alright, good. Moving along. So we at number 9. Alright, good. So let me just read the comments just a moment. So Clifton, you're saying what you taught this morning, or what I taught this morning basically came on the exam. Good. It's very good to hear that. I heard that the exam was not sorry, it was not very hard as you would think. As I mentioned, guys, it only take critical thinking, alright? And just study the right information and it will be good. Alright, moving along. Number 9 here says, which of the following is most likely to undermine the authority of parents in the home? So here it says most. So here most would be inconsistency in rewarding and punishing children. So this would be the most undermine the authority of parents in home. Alright, number 10. Here it says the type of care associated with the elderly is described as. So here in elderly described, normally it's not pediatric and it's not sincere. It's not even old folks as well, guys. We know this, that taking care of an elderly would be geriatric. Alright, moving along. Number 11 here we are seeing where Caribbean's governments have improved the rights of children born out of wedlock. So wedlock would also mean passing the law to allow them to qualify for inheritance. Alright, any questions? Moving along. Number 12. Alright, so we are seeing here it says identify the order in which the ancestors of the Caribbean people arrive in the region. Alright, so here we are seeing we have the Amerindians, we have the East Indians, and we have the Europeans, and we also have the Africans. All right, so we are descending. All right, the order, we are eventually seeing how the order they came in the Caribbean. So let me see. So here we're gonna start out with the Amerindians. All right, then we add the Europeans. So the first one here, let me just highlight this. So the first one would be Amerindians. The second one would be the Europeans. So they are the second ancestor that arrive in the region. And then we have the Africans, right? Remember, if you guys do history, you would most likely to have a easier understand. All right, and also then the last sets of ancestors now would be the East Indians. All right, good. So this would be the fourth. This would be the third. Sorry. Good. So the answer would be A. So we have the Amerindians, then we have the Europeans, then we have the Africans, and then we have the East Indians. All right. So Carrie says the exam was difficult, but the essay part was even more difficult. Is this question going to be repeat for? Yes, these questions going to be repeat for Csec exams, paper 1. Most likely, a majority of these questions will be repeated. All right, so that's why I'm going over a few review of these questions. So it's not like paper 2 that most of the questions will repeated. On paper 1, I could say majority of the paper will repeat, majority, like approximately 95%. If they may throw out like a few new questions, like 2 or 4, depends, but it's not mainly. All of the old questions will be repeated, all right, on paper 1. So it's an easy pass on these paper, guys. It's not hard. All right, so we're moving along to number 13 here. It says, which of the following characteristics of a formal group? Good. So of a formal group, the characteristics would include a code of conduct, we'd have a specific objective, and then we'd have membership requirements. All right, so it's not only the code of conduct and it's not only membership requirements. It concluded all of the above. All right, so we'd have the code of conduct would be a formal characteristic of a formal group, and specific objectives and membership requirements. So all of these. All right, good. Lovely to hear that paper 2 was easy. I hope everyone passed with a grade 1. All right, please study, guys, please study. And paper 1 is easy to memorize. All right, once you read the questions and you get a hang of it, then you should be good in the exam. This should be easy one too. All right, good. Number 14, it says, which of the following characteristics will ensure the survival of a group? So the survival of a group will be solving problem as a group. All right, so these are the characteristics. It's not merely the leader controlling the group member. That is not a characteristics. The characteristics to ensure that the survival of a group will be solving problems. If we have a problems and we solve them, then eventually that would be the most keenly survival point in a group. All right, number 15 here, it says, which of the following best characterize a primary group? So in a primary group now, we'd have face-to-face interaction. All right, so it's not a larger group, it's not an infrequent interaction, it's not a common name or title. All right, what is required for a grade 2? All right, so well, CXC mark on a basic mark. So eventually, once you did good on your SBA, maybe I think it was 40 the SBA mark out of. So for example, if you get like 35 out of 40, and on paper 2, I'm not sure, I would have to check the marking scheme to see how much paper 2 do exactly great on paper 2 with paper 1. That could sure give you a grade 1. All right, but you just have to do good on paper 2 to ensure you had good mark, because paper 2 value more mark than paper 1. Even though paper 1 is not hard because it's repeated questions. Alright? Good. Moving along. So going to number 16 here. It says, which of the following are examples of folk ways? Alright, so let me read here. It says, a man opening a door for a woman. Not necessarily. Alright, holding awake after the death of a person. A bride wearing a white dress to her wedding. So here, a folkway would be like, let me see, not necessarily like a fairy tale though. It would be basically like all traditional ways. Like for example, when we have a funeral, we would basically wear what? Black. Or, you know, yes. So these are some type of ways, folk ways. Alright, so a bride wearing a white dress to her wedding, that would be a folk way. And also holding a wake after death of a person. So the answer here we will choose would be C. Alright, so we're choosing holding a wake after the death of a person and a bride wearing a white dress to her wedding. Are you understanding, students? Let me know in the comment section. Alright, good. I worked this paper already. Okay, great. Moving along, number 17 here. Alright, so we normally seeing these questions in regards to the autocratic and the democratic. Alright, good. So here, items 17 to 18 refers to the following dialogue. Here, so we have Sister and we have Paul, and we have a dialogue between them. Alright, so they both are speaking to each other. Good. Alright, so here, Sister said, when Marvin was group leader, he was always ordering us about. Alright, so Paul mentioned that I prefer a group leader who allow member to do as they please. Listen, so here we are trying to see where they are carrying out orders and one who does not allow to do as they please. So here we would see where this leadership would encrypted as an autocratic. Alright, remember democratic and autocratic, so we have two different meaning between the two of them. Alright, one which take one is the opposite. So for example, autocratic here, this leadership would be they wanted not to do, so they do their own thing. Alright guys, they do not take orders. Autocratic, they made their own decision, but democratic is decision that already made, which they would have to follow. Alright, good. Are you copying, guys? Good. Number 18 now. Good. So here number 18 says Paul's statements indicates that he prefers a leader style with that is. So we'll choose, let's say, fair. Right? Good. Number 19. Here we are seeing where adolescents are most likely to influence each other in a positive way when they become involved in guidance and counseling activities. So they are mostly influence each other in a positive way. Alright, so they are referring about the most important point. So as a teenager, right, normally for them to influence in a positive way, they would have to engage like in a guidance and a counseling activities. Alright, so this is what the question is trying to depict, guys. Alright, number 20. It says, which of the following would not usually be associated with educational institution? Remember, guys, last night I was going through these education institution. I would say these type of institution, right? Here they are mentioning which one is not associated with educational institution. So here we have rules and regulation. Rules and regulations are, let me see, rules that carried out in schools. All right, good. So we have customs and traditions. Custom and traditions, like for example, traditions is the same, guys, because remember, I would say back in the days, we have schools, right? We wear uniform to schools. Nothing changed. Even now, you still wear uniform to school. So that would be the same customs of tradition. Nothing changed. All right. So transmission of the culture, the same thing. Culture doesn't change, guys, but the suppression of freedom now, that is not associated. All right. So you don't get to do what you like. All right, in schools, guys, you have to work with the rules and regulations. All right, so the answer here would be D, suppressions of freedom. Are you copying, guys? Let me know in the comments. Good. Okay, Jonathan, good. All right, moving along to number 21. So here it says, which of the following is not a role of trade union? So here, the role of a trade union would be, let me see here, monitoring the safety of worker at a workplace. All right, educating workers about their rights on the job. That is a role, trade union. It says which one is not. So collective bargains for workers' welfare, not necessarily about reporting negligent workers to management. So here, this would not referred as a trade union. All right, so they are mentioning which one is not a role of the trade union. So reporting negligent worker to management is not a part of the role of a trade union. All right, good. Are you copying, guys? I don't want to make sure I'm not going too fast, so you could go along and quiz yourself. Guys, I'm just gonna I should have not placed the answers on the paper. I should just go along and ask you the questions and you type in the comments. But next time I will do that, alright? Good. Number 22 here, it says, in which of the following countries is proportional representation used to elect the government? So here where we have proportional representation used to elect the government would be in Guyana. All right, so that is a country, Guyana. Number 23 here, it says which of the following documents do political parties in the Caribbean usually use to inform the public about their policies, premises, and programs? So the documents that they would use for our political parties to inform the public about their policies and so forth, that would be the manifesto. All right, it's not the policy statement and it's not the conference paper. All right, good. It has to do with the manifesto. And I think, guys, most of these answers here, most of them may seem new, but these answers are the same. Nothing changed. All right, guys, it's not rephrasing. None of these questions will be rephrasing. It's the same because these questions keep repeating. I'm not doing the CXC this year, but I'm preparing for my test, so this helps. Good. All right, good. Number 24, it says the political party which forms the government in the first past the post system is the party that wins. All right, guys, so this question is a repeat one, mainly because I go through a lot of past paper. This question is one of the most common repeated question. Let me know, guys. Type yes in the comment section if you ever see this question before. Number 24. So here it says the political party which forms the government in the first past post system is the party that win, and it will win the most seats. All right, so it's the party that won the most seats. Good. Moving along. Number 25 here, we are seeing Caribbean's country where the Queen of England is the head of state may describe as, and it may describe as a constitutional monarchies. All right, good. So where we have the queen would be the head. That would be the monarchies. All right. Good. Okay, good, great. You see that it's very great to see that your guys are memorizing the questions. Yes, that question is normally repeated. All right, great. So we are seeing where the head of, or for example, guys, in England we have the head. The head would be the queen. All right, head of state, the queen, and the queen refers as monarchy. So here they are mentioning about the Queen of England is the head of state, and they mention, so we could refer this name as two names. It could be constitutional monarchies, or it could say the head of monarchies. All right, good. But it's the constitutional monarchies. It's the correct name. Good. Number 26. It says in English-speaking Caribbean, the first court of hearing for criminal offense is usually, and this one is also a repeated questions as well. Number 26. So this one would be the magistrate court. All right. Good. So it's not the court of appeal, guys. Anything has to do with the hearing for a criminal offense, it has to be the magistrate court. All right. Good. Moving along. Number 27. The main function of a prosecutor, and this one is a repeated one as well, guys. Let me know if you ever see this one on a paper before. Number 27. It says the main function of a prosecutor in the judicial system is to present the argument against the defendant. All right. So here in Jamaica, we know that we have a DPP, which is a deputy. Not the deputy, but the director public prosecutor. All right, so that would be presenting the argument against a defendant. All right, good. Moving along, guys. Number 28 here. It says, which of the following are items of expenditure for a government? So we are seeing where we have salaries for civilian servant. All right, we have old age pensions, we have custom duties. So here we choose between salaries for civil servants, and we also would have to choose between old age pensions. So nothing about custom duties. All right, good. Moving along. So number 29. So here we have a national budget as a defeat when the expenditure is. So here we have a fall short, guys. All right, this meaning the defeats has to mean with fall short. All right, so any like we have in a decrease, for example, a decrease in the budget or a decrease in the earning, there would be a greater than revenue. All right, so the answer would be yes. This one is always a repeated one as well. Number 29. So this one would be greater than revenue. All right. Number 30. It says, which of the following is not included in the written constitutions of a country? All right. So we are mentioning which one is not. All right. So which of the following is not a written constitutions of a country? So here, responsibilities of a citizens is a written constitution of a country, and the power and function of office of the state would be also one. The power of the responsibility of a parliament, it makes sense, but a method of taxation is not. All right, are you copying, guys? Moving along. All right, let's see here. All right, so number 31. It says, refers to the following table, which shows the population figure of 4 countries. Good. So here we are seeing the 4 countries. So we are seeing the area and we are seeing the populations. So it says which country has the highest population density. All right, so the density would refers not as the population. It's not only the population, but the population density. All right. So here we say we have the kilometer square, right? All right, good. So here for country 1 we have 750 kilometer square, would mean a 7,000 population on this one. For country 2, here we'd have 100 kilometer square, and here we have 150,000 population. Good. Here country 3 we have 300 kilometer square, we also have 100,000 population. In country 4 we have 25,000 kilometer square and a population of 150,000. all right, so here the answer would be this one, country 2, and the reason why, it's based on the kilometer square, guys. So we are talking about the density, so it's not the more in kilometer square. Remember the population figure, I would say country 4 and country 2 would be the same in the population, but there's a difference between the area. All right, look, there's a difference between the area. So this is, so this is 100 kilometer square in area, and this is 200, not 200 but 25,000 kilometer square in area. So the best answer would choose here would be country 2. all right, so that would be the density, the highest density. all right, so it's not based on only the population itself. Hold up just a moment. So country 2 has the highest density because 1500/100 is 1500, which is higher than the rest. Yes, you're correct. Leak 1 Smith. Yes, you're correct. Good. So here we are number 32 here. So we are seeing where the term labor force is best defined as all persons who are. So labor force, remember guys, keywords. all right, this question is a very simple question. Labor force, so anything has to do with labor, meaning working, employment. all right, the force would seek in employment, so the answer would be employed and those actively seeking employment. So it's already persons who are already working and those who are not working and are still seeking in employment. all right, so that would best describe as labor force. all right guys, read the question and memorize the answer. all right, and it's going, this paper is just going to be a 1-3 for you guys. Very easy, it's all right. Good. Number 33, it says which of the following best describe as a census. all right, we know in the Caribbean country, it could even be in, like, for example, Jamaica here, where we have seen where most census, for example, they normally picked up census, like, I think it's probably not every year, but I think they normally do it like every 4 here or 3 here, I think. They normally picked up census. all right, so census can best describe as the counting of the population of a country and recording of its characteristics. all right, so they normally basically visit people home, and they normally take the amount of numbers of person living in a household, so that is a census. all right, so what they are doing is counting the population of a country and recording its characteristics. all right, good. Are you copying, guys? Let me know in the comment section. And guys, please free to share the live stream and drop a like and subscribe. Turn on the post notification if you haven't do so already, please. Thank you. all right, I'm gonna move along. Good. So number 34 here, we're gonna move along. all right, so it says the attractive conditions offered by some countries have influenced the movements of people from the Caribbean. These conditions may best describe as, all right, so where we are influencing the movements of a people from a Caribbean. This question is very easy and it's very common. All right, so we are having the attractive conditions that is offered by a country, by some country. For example, in Jamaica here, it's not sincerely we have a lot of opportunity in the sense of workforce and just for to engage them sorry, in work. All right, so that would be the attractive conditions. So this refers as a pull factors. Good. All right, so moving on, guys. Number 35 here, it says refers to the following graph, which shows birth rate according to gender for country Z. All right, so Z here we are seeing where birth rate as would be for per, let me see, 1,000. All right, so see female. So we're gonna depict the graph, guys. So this would be the female. All right, this line on the graph would be the female, and this one would be the male. All right, so I think this suggest would be the hair. This would be the hair, and this would be the birth rate. All right. All right, good. So here we have 1990. Good. So we're just going to depict the graph. So it's from 5. This would be 1,000, right? 5,000. Depict from 1990. So let me see what's the answer, what they're asking for here. It says from the data given in the graph, it can conclude that. All right, so look, we concluded now. So the answer here is the female birth rate reached its highest level around the mid 1970s. So we're going to look on the graph to see how best this answer confirms that it's correct. So it says the female birth rate reached its highest level around the mid 1970s. All right, so look, female. All right, look. So here, this is the line of the female, guys. So let me look, it's correct right here, guys. Look. So let me just calculate. This would be like 35,000, and it says the mid 1970s. All right. So here we have another peak. We also have another peak here also. So this would be between 28 to 30, and we also have right here. All right, so the factual truth would be between here 28 to 30. All right, so this would 28,000 to 30, and from the here would be 1970. So the female birth rate reaches highest level, and as we guys could see here, the female, we can look on the graph here, it actually did. All right, so the 1970s, it's correct. Good. We're moving along, guys. All right, so number 36, it says which of the following contribute directly to a fall in the infant mortality. All right, so mortality meaning death. All right, good. Okay, good. So here we are seeing which of the following contribute to that directly fall. All right, so here, guys, the answer would be improved nutrition or vaccination against disease or development of high income housing. So here we choose between I and 2, and the whole reason why it says that contribute to the fall in mortality. So if we doesn't want the rate, for example, guys, I'm just going to explain this questions. How do you read the graph? All right, so guys, you read the graph based on its year. So you're gonna, all right, so there's two things depicted on the graph. We have the year, like the birth rate per 1,000, and we have basically the, let me just go back on the graph. All right, let me just erase this. All right, guys, let me just erase this. All right, let me just show you what's going on, so I could just demonstrate what's going on. All right, guys, let me just show you what's happening here. So the answer here, what they're basically asking for, they says from the graph here can be concluded. So what can we depict from the graph? what we are seeing on the graph here. So as we are seeing that female birth rate reaches highest level around the mid 90s. All right, so here, this is the key, guys, the KEY. All right, so here we have female and we have male, so it shows which one of these is female or male. Good. All right, then we have the hair. This would be the ear, guys. All right, this would be the ear. I surely cannot use this mouse sensor. Anyways, all right, so we have the birth per 1,000 here, guys. This is the key also. So we're gonna look on the birth per 1,000, and we're also gonna look on the hair. So this is how we read the graph now. So here we are seeing birth rate reaches highest level between the mid 90s. All right, so look, here is the female. So we're gonna go from 20. So this would be 20,000, guys. Then we have a fall again between 15. This would be between around 15, 14. All right, then we have the female going up again. Then we have it rising steadily up. Look, guys, so here, let me just go across. That would be 50,000, this, right? Good. So here, if you're gonna look on the hair, look where it falls between the 1975 and it says the mid 1970s. So here we can see where female birth rate reaches highest level around the mid 1970s. All right, guys, I hope I just gave you a clear understanding. All right, good. Okay, good, guys. All right, so moving on to number 36. All right, so we are here seeing that which of the following contributor directly to a falling infant. So what they are asking for this question, guys, what can we do to just not reduce the death in a young infant? So if we development of a high income housing, that doesn't make sense. You're welcome, Janik. All right, so if we development of a high income housing, that doesn't change the mortality in infant, but if we improve the nutrition, then that will change the mortality rate in infant. If we also give vaccination against disease, that will also improve. All right, so these questions, these answers here would be the best. All right, so high and 2. So the answer would be A for number 36. Everyone understand? Okay, Norvia, welcome. Thank you for stopping to the stream. If you haven't liked, make sure you do so. This is a 2020 paper, guys, not a 2024, but this is for 2024, your upcoming exams, because these questions will be repeated. So yes, this paper will be for 2024. So most of these questions here that I'm reviewing, guys, will be on your paper. I think you have exams when? Thursday, I think. Paper 1. I think so. All right, we're moving along, guys. Number 37. It says, which of the following is not a result of high population growth in a country? All right, so here we are referring to which is not a result of high population growth. So high population growth is when our population numbers are increasing. All right, so here, which is a traffic congestion, a traffic congestion would be, they are saying they're not, so is not. So which one is not increasing the high population growth? So traffic congestion would do development of slums, increase of demands of social service. So here, increased immigration will not result a high population growth in a country. Remember, guys, immigrants. They are working. All right, so you're not a resident in the country. Eventually, you're not living unless you get your citizenship. All right, so it's not a sense where we will have a high population of growth in a country if the increase of immigrants, I would say. So this would not increase immigration, is not a result of high population growth in a country. Do you understand, guys? So the answer here would be B. Good. All right, number 38. Which of the following is based on exploiting non-renewable natural resources? So here they are asking which one of these questions, I would say which one of these answers here is based on exploiting non-renewable natural resources. So here non-renewable natural resources is based on a bauxite mining, would not mean on fishing. Alright, so the answer would be bauxite mining, not hydroelectric power. This is not, we have renewable resources, and we have non-renewable resources. Sorry, CV bauxite isn't renewable. Yes. Good. All right, number 39 here. We're moving along, guys. It says, which of the following most likely to result from rising level of unemployment in a country? All right, so it says most likely to result from rising the level of unemployment in a country. So here we are seeing where it says high infant mortality rate, increased sporting activities, or increased workers' salaries, or increased desire to immigrate. It says most likely to result from rising. So this is the keyword, guys, most and rising level of unemployment. Result from most rising level of employment. So the answer would be increased desire to immigrate. So here, having a rise level of unemployment. Here, where persons is not working, right? We would have a high number, guys. Good. And eventually we have a high numbers of unemployment person. Eventually everyone want to leave. Everyone will eventually leave, guys, because they need money. So this would increase the desire to immigrate, because eventually we are in, for example, we are in Jamaica from an increase in immigration rate in a country. All right, so the keyword would be likely, and we have the increase in immigration rate. So increase in immigration rate would be overpopulation. All right, so it's not increasing job opportunities, it's not reducing the pressure on social service, it's not brain drain. All right. All right, good. So here, guys, we are seeing where they are trying to explain on the increase of immigration in a country. All right, so here, any other questions? Let me just read the comment section. Let me see here. No, plus kit, no. All right, let me see this comment. So you're asking if plastic are renewable. No, plastic is made from crude oil, right? So plastic is a non-renewable resources. Although plastic can be recycled though, but its amount of solid waste generated by plastic is becoming a problem now. So that would not refers as a renewable. All right, good. Because even though we're still having problems, Okay, no problem. Paper 2 was easy. Love to hear that. No problem. Yes, guys. So I was mentioning about plastic. You were asking about the renewable. So as I mentioned, a plastic is a non-renewable resources because even though plastic would use nowadays as we normally recycle them, but there's amount of waste that normally generated, and the amount of waste is causing problem. All right. Good. So a plastic would not be a renewable. All right. Let me go. All right. Anyways, we're moving on, guys. All right. Number 41. Here it says, which of the following would play an important part in a government's effort to increase the consumption of locally produced food? All right. Good. So here they wanted to know which of the following would play an important role in government efforts to increase. So the keyword here would be increase consumption, and would be a play the important part in a government. So here, guys, increasing the price on imported food, that would play a great effort to increase the consumption of locally produced food for our government. All right, so they increase the imported price. Normally, guys, we would have food price normally, having a increase. All right, so most of the times you having persons crying that food price is too high. So is when they imported, like the imported price, because the price that they would normally had a budget, they increase the price of importing food to the Caribbean. All right, 42, guys, moving along. It says an example of an intra-regional migration is the movement of people from. So we have mostly people moving from Trinidad and Tobago to St. Lucia. So that would be the intra-regional migration. All right, guys. So as I mentioned, most of the times we had persons moving from one country to another country. All right, and inter-regional migration is defined. So let me explain this meaning, guys. Intra-regional migration, in a simpler terms, it is the movement of people within the same region of a nation. Remember, guys, the same region, but is the movement within the same region of a nation. So from Jamaica to United States, remember, we are not one nation. All right, we are not in the same region. Good. Are you guys copying? Leave it in the comment section. From Antigua to United Kingdom, right? They are different regions. They are not one nations as well. All right, but Trinidad and St. Lucia, one nation. All right, guys, moving forward. Are you guys copying? Let me know in the comment section. Type in the comment section, guys. Let me see what's going on. All right, moving along now. Number 43 here, we are seeing, it says, which of the following are most likely to happen in a country where there is high employment rate? Yes, like the Caribbean. International, if Jamaica goes to England, I think. No, for example, guys, the regional migration, if we are leaving from our country, we are leaving from our region. So we are not moving from one region to another region. If, for example, if we are for example, like Haiti, Jamaica and Haiti, if we are moving to Haiti, even though like even Africa as well, we are one nation, guys. So it's the movement between from one country to the other country would be the same region and the same nation, right? Within the same region and the same nation. Good. Is the Caribbean? it is not because they are part of the Caribbean. Yes, they yes, it's mainly because they are. I remember, guys, the same region within the same region, guys, and we are the same nation that made them intra-regional migration. So it's not extra regional migration. All right, good. I'm new watching from Vinci. Hello, Mashika. Welcome to the live. Thank you for stopping by with Csec. And I'm just going through this social study paper 1, May/June 2020 past paper. Alright? Good. If you're new, make sure you do drop a like and subscribe to the channel. And thank you for stopping by. Moving along, guys. Alright? We have a few more questions to complete. Here, so it says, which of the following are mostly likely to happen in a country where there is a high employment rate? So here, a greater demand for goods and services, all right, would be one. All right, and another would be the improvement in quality of life and upsurge in criminal activities. No, because most unlikely, guys, if we have a high employment rate, do you think that would be an upsurge in criminal activity? No. And the reason why? Because everyone is working, guys. They have a high employment rate. But if we do have a high unemployment rate, then we could have an upsurge in criminal activities. Alright, so the best suitable answer here would be the greater demand for goods and services, and it would be improvement in quality of life. Alright, do you have 2024 January? I think so. I have a few, I would say, the latest past papers like January 2024. I would have to check in my documents. Sorry, I would have to check, guys. But I'm very sure that I have a lot though. I have a lot. I have over more than 100 past papers. Guaranteeing you that. All right, different here though, like for example, I have even past papers from 1990. Those papers are very old. But anyways, guys, we're moving forward now. All right, number 44. All right, so it says, which of the following factors is most likely to contribute sorry, to the development of the human resource of a country? Yes, I will do more past papers tonight. I after this video I won't go through any more because at the moment my battery is going low, as you guys could see here. I have like 33%. Alright. I have to get my charger. My charger is not where I'm at the moment. So I would have to get some charge and then I will review some in the night. So guys, please stay tuned. All right, subscribe if you haven't, do so, turn on the post notifications so when I post you guys could be active. All right, so here number 44, it says, which of the following factors is most likely to contribute to the development of a human resources of a country? So here, human resource, all right, it would be the improvement, improve of educational opportunities. All right, so this would contribute to the development of the human resource of the country, because we know, guys, education is the key, right? So improve the educational opportunities, like for example in schools, they most likely, governments give subsidies to students that's doing Csec. Like the government pay like for probably 3-4 subjects, including like English, maths, and a science subjects, I think. All right, so that would be like the improvement in educational opportunities, giving like school grants and all of those are educational opportunities, guys. Even scholarship, right, to go to college, like those. All right. Sorry, guys, moving along. Number 45. Here it says, which of the following groups of resource can be classified as renewal? All right. Yes, the smarter you make children, the better they are in the future. Exactly. Good. All right. So here, renewal are classified as, for example, guys, renewal is where we can get from. So forest, water, and land. We have the land here, guys. We can reuse the land. For example, here, we have land, guys. So we use the land like for farming, right? Farming. So these resources that can use, right? So renewable resources is refers to as natural resources. So forest is natural, the water is natural, land is natural, and they can replenish. Replenish meaning, guys, we can use them up, right? In a portion, like for example, land. We can use land for farming. We can use our land to construct buildings, you know, for future use and all of those. Same thing with water, guys, right? And so on. Good. So the best answer here would be forest, water, and land. All right. Moving along. All right. So number 46 here. So we just look at this diagram here. So we are seeing petroleum, we are seeing bauxite, we are seeing agriculture, fisheries, forestry, we are seeing tourism, right? So this question is asking which of the following statement is true about the information presented in the pie chart. So here, in manufacturing sector, and the reason being, for the mining sector here than the manufacturing. So the mining would be here, from here to here. Let us draw my here. All right. So we have more sector which is owned or earned more, which is the mining sector, earn more than the manufacturing sector. So this is precisely very clear. All right, good. Are you copying, guys? All right, let me see here. Good. All right, so we're moving to number 47. It says most Caribbean countries remain producers of primary products, mainly because yes, Lee Kwan. I was referring that. As you see, I just I lied from here to here. So here the manufacturing, we are seeing, guys, the manufacturing. So we have in the mining sector, they earn more than the manufacturing sector. All right, good. All right, so here number 47, it says most Caribbean countries remain producers as primary product, and it's mainly because they lack the means to process their resources. All right, so in many Caribbean countries, we are seeing where they remain producers as primary product. Why they remain? Normally they could had, like, for example, not just a primary product, but they could have a secondary product. But the reason why they doesn't have a secondary product is because they lack the means to produce their resources. So for example, guys, in the Caribbean country, right? So for example, guys, we would have like banana, right? In Jamaica, we use banana to make banana chips. You know, like for some countries, they only have the banana, but they would like to get the chips. So they don't want to have a secondary product because they lack the means to produce their resources. Are you understanding, guys? All right, good. Number 48. So which of the following factors may help the government of a country to achieve sustainable developments for its people? So here, to sustain development for its people, it would have been using welfare programs to create employment. Alright, so having a high level of employment in regards to the welfare programs, and eventually we could help the government. This factor would mainly help the government for a country to sustain developments for its people. All right, good. All right, good. So number 49, this is which of the progression of Caribbean integration movement. Right, guys, so integration movements, we are seeing where we had the federation to the Carifta, and then we have the CARICOM. All right, so good. All right, guys, are you copying? Type in the comment section, let me know if your guys are copying. All right, please, before I move on. All right, good. Moving along. All right, number 50, guys. Here we are seeing where which of the following factors hinders the cooperation among CARICOM countries. All right, guys, this question is a main question as well. This question normally repeated. All right, so we are seeing where they are talking about cooperation. All right, so cooperation meaning connect. All right, partnership, guys. So when they mention about cooperation, guys, do not mind the big word they are using to get you confused. So they are asking which of the factors can hinder the connections amongst CARICOM states. Remember, CARICOM states, guys, from all of the Caribbean countries. All right, so here it would be the competition for foreign investments. All right, good. Moving along. Number 51 now. Here, this one, I think this one is a repeated one as well. Repeated question. We normally saw this one on paper more often than rather. Alright, so number 51 to 52, here it refers to the table, which gives the information on the population for country X in 2017. Sir, is this paper on Google? Because I reached late and I want to practice it from beginning. Well, I think this paper will be on Google. It's a 2020 paper, but if you doesn't have it, well, I will go over it back on my channel so you will get the chance to view it. All right, so here we are seeing where number 51 here we have natural increase in the population from country X in 2017 was. So here from 2017, so we have the number of births, we have the number of deaths, yes, takeaway, yes. So here we have the number of immigrants, we have the number of immigrants, and you have the number of immigrants, right? So here in X, country X was in 2017 was mainly, so the population increase in the population would be 13,000. All right, guys, so here let me just go ahead, just give me a minute, guys, real fast, please, just a moment. All right, I'm back, guys. Good. All right, so here this question here, they are asking about the natural increase in a population. So how we're gonna explain this, guys? So here we have the number of births, right? We have the number of births. All right, so here we have the number of deaths, also we have the number of immigrants and immigrants. So here we're gonna subtract, guys. We're gonna do a subtraction. So we're gonna subtract the 15,000 from the 28,000, and that would basically give we 13. All right, and here that's where we got the 13,000. Are you copying, guys? Let me know. Are you? Yes, subtract the death rate and the birth. Yes, exactly. 13. So this is where we get the 13,000 from, guys. Alright, moving along. So here, sorry, it says the net migration figure from country X in 2017. Alright, so in 2017 here, let me just explain it real fast. Alright, let me see here, just a moment. Alright, so here we have 14,000 in the immigrants, right? So we have the 14,000, and all right, so this would be the opposite, guys, opposite of this. All right, so this and this together. So here, this is how we get the net of migration figure for the country X in 2017. So we're gonna subtract the 8,000 from the 14,000 of immigrants, and here would receive, would have got the total number of 6,000. So 14, so take away 8 from 14, guys, that's 6, right? Good. So that's where you got the 6,000 from. Are you copying? Let me just check the comment section. Alright, let me know, guys, if you're copying before I move further. Alright, just want to ensure that you're understanding. So where we have the migration net, you also have the natural increase. So the natural increase between the numbers of birth to death, and where we have the migration net would be between the number of immigrants to immigrants. So we're subtracting 8,000 from 4,000, we got the number 6,000. All right, moving forward, guys, not spending too much time. Remember, I'm telling you that my battery is dying. All right, good. Number 53, it says the highest authority of the Caribbean CARICOM is, so in CARICOM, it's the head of the government conference. All right, so that is the highest authority of the CARICOM community, is the heads of government conference. All right, good. Come on, guys, like up the video, guys. Just drop a like and subscribe and share the live, guys. Share the live to your friends. I know most of you guys think I have a much audience that doing social study than other subjects areas. So I think we would have a great number this year in Csec passes for social study, and I'm so emulated by that outcome, to be honest. All right, so number 54 here, it says, which of the following is most important aim of the trading arrangement within the CARICOM? So within the CARICOM would mean to promote the economic development in the region. So here, guys, where we are having the aim between the trading arrangement, right? So where we are doing the trading arrangement between the CARICOM countries, like for example Jamaica trading with Trinidad and Tobago, then eventually that would promote the economic development in the region. Remember, guys, the same thing has with the cooperation and the wealth. So we are trying to build a connection, guys, and it also helps to promote the economic development within the region. All right, good. Moving along, number 55. My eyes are really tired, to be honest. I'll have to get this charged. All right, number 55. So it says CARICOM countries need to pool their skilled human resources. So the CARICOM need to pool their skilled human resources, and it's because of a reduction in the need for foreign experts. All right. So in the CARICOM countries, what they are mentioning here about the pool in the skilled human resources, because we had a reduction in the need for a foreign expert. So normally we are not getting an increase, we are getting a reduction. All right, so we have a less foreign expert. All right, are you copying, guys? So tired now. All right, let me move through these questions because we're almost through the end of the paper. Alright, so number 56 here, better resource, less people for. This before overseas. Yes. Good. Our number 56 here, it says, which of the following is the main reason for the trade conflicts which sometimes arise among CARICOM countries? So here they are mentioning about the main reason. So what is the main reason for trade conflicts, guys? So trade conflicts can be also some competitions between for different countries for the markets when they are markets as identical products. So let me explain this more better, guys. When we have a trade conflict, that would simply mean in Jamaica, for example, is trading banana, and we are trading banana with, like, for example, Trinidad. So if we are trading banana with Trinidad and we have the same market, identical product, remember the same demand for the identical product, then we would have an increase in the competition for the markets. So there we are seeing where the answer would be the competition for the market when there are several countries market have identical product. So we have the same product alike, so eventually the competition will be a higher demand. All right. And the whole reason why eventually, guys, too many identical product in the market, then eventually the more product, because if we have every country trading, and the trading that they are doing, they have the identical product, then higher competition. Like countries in the Caribbean have similar product like Jamaican and Trinidad banana chips. Yes, exactly. Kadisha Brooks, hello, welcome. Thank you for stopping by to the channel. Really appreciate this, sir. Thank you. You're welcome. All right, so we're moving further, guys. We are almost through. We are almost through. 57. The CARICOM single market economy, right, was created to deepen the integration movement. And guys, we keep seeing this word over and over, integration movement. You remember what is the meaning of the integration movement? All right, moving along. And to respond to the challenges and opportunity. All right, so single, in the CARICOM single market, guys, it was created to deepen the integration movement. So that was within the region, all right, the Caribbean region here. And it also respond to the challenges and opportunity. Why? Because the globalization. All right, so most of the times, guys, in the CARICOM single market, due to the deeper connection of the integration movement, they are likely to have a slightly challenging in the globalization. Like they had to do the connection. All right, so we had in the CARICOM countries, all right, so like the Caribbean, guys, Jamaica, Trinidad, all right, so we are partnership as to one. Remember, the more we partnership to one, guys, we build the economic development. So here they are talking about the response to challenges and opportunities. So we will have challenges between the globalization. All right, moving further, the coming together of a country in order to help other development socially, economically, and politically. Yes. All right, number 58, it says if a CARICOM countries imposes restriction on a CARICOM product, which of the following provision is being violated? All right, guys, so oh my, this question is so a question where we can elaborate more on, guys. So imagine, guys, in a Caribbean country, right, for example in Jamaica, if Trinidad ship like mentioning about, like, for example, chocolate to Jamaica, guys, and we are putting restriction against the CARICOM product. Remember, in the CARICOM, it's a Caribbean connection, guys. So it gives us the opportunity to trade within other Caribbean country, build the economic globally, right? So this would violated the liberalization of trade. It's what I'm talking about, guys. How can we limit ourselves of putting restriction on CARICOM products? So that would violate the liberalization of trade. All right, so it would not be the functional cooperation, guys. That has nothing to do with the connection. All right, it has to do with the liberalization of trade. All right. Is this video still be on your channel after stream? Yes, the video will be on my channel after the stream. You just go on my channel, and once you go on my channel, we'll click on where you see live, and once you click live, you will see all of the live streams that I did. All right, good. All right, so we're moving along, guys. We're almost through. 2 more questions, and this is it for now. Not for tonight. I will do more live stream, guys, so ensure that you guys turn on your post notification. I can't give it a specific time as to when tonight, but tonight I will be going live, so I will just charge my battery and then I will be back on live. Moving forward, guys, number 59, it says, which of the following factors is intended to promote trade among CARICOM member state? So here we are talking about the CARICOM, and we are talking about the to promote the trade. So here, to promote the trade is the removal of duties of the regional goods and service. So what is the removal of duties? The duties would be simple meaning, guys, the restrictions. Remove the restriction on regional goods and services. So this question here would be the similar question, guys. Alright, so we are not violating the liberalization of trade, guys. So removal of duties on the regional goods and services. Are you copying, guys? Alright, good. And we are at the final question for tonight. Well, not for tonight, but for now, guys, because I will be going streaming again. Alright, so number 60, it says economic integration as a part of CARICOM's main objectives aims primarily to, and it's aimed primarily to accelerate the development in CARICOM country. So here we are talking about the economic, and we are talking about how the main objective aims. So for in the Caribbean country, guys, the economic integration is a part of the CARICOM main objectives, and this is how the objectives aims. It aims to build. Instead of accelerate, guys, I will use to build or to develop the whole connection within the CARICOM countries. Alright, so it's just to build the global of the country, guys, build the connection within the CARICOM regions, alright, the CARICOM countries in one. Alright, so this paper will be the end of the 2020 May/June social study paper 1, and I'll be going through more past paper. Can you do a past paper 3? I have social studies on Wednesday, please. I will try my best, Daniel. All right, I will try my best to go over a past paper 3. All right, not a problem, guys. If you haven't do subscribe, make sure you guys do subscribe and drop a like on the video. If you reach to the end of this video right now on the live stream, type kudos in the comment sections. All right, and guys, I will be ending the stream here. So I wanted to say thank you so much for staying on the live and reviewing the paper with me as well. Alright, I'm getting a little bit tired now, guys, and I have to get my battery charge here. I'm having 21%. Alright. The removal of external traffic and trade barriers basically meaning freeing up the trade. Alright, guys, so thank you so much, guys. Make sure you guys do drop a like and subscribe, guys, and the live will be on the stream. All right, so you guys could watch over the live. So see you and on